Now we're gonna be diving into Snappic. We're gonna create an event for a 360 booth, but the coolest, most funnest part of this video is, hold on. Just wanted to say hi, that's a homie, about him to work today. We're gonna be diving into the video effects. So that way you guys can get more familiar with the tools and you guys can come up with some really dope, awesome productions. In this video right here, I'm using speed ramps. Of course, we have the slow-mo going on a little bit. We have some extra effects on top of that. I'm gonna show you guys how I'm able to achieve this. That way you guys can get more familiar with the video effects and you guys can come up with some dope productions. All right, let's go ahead and dive into it. To create an event. Now, this is gonna be the select a template location. For us, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to do a new plain event here because we are working on this together and we're gonna focus on the video effects, yes. Now, if you guys were gonna make an event for your digital booths, your iPad booths, then yes, we would go to photo and GIFs, but for right now, we're sticking to the 360 booth production. So let's go ahead and move forward with the video effects. I'm gonna go to next right over here. And I'm gonna name this one YouTube fam. And then we're gonna start it immediately. Now, one of the cool things I like about Snappic is that you can leave an event open almost forever. I had an event open for an entire week when I had a 3-day event. I had it open for the whole week because I got started with the production a few days after. So I was troubleshooting, trying out different templates and effects. So I left the event open the entire time. And then of course, I closed it after. So we're gonna leave this open for like an entire day. All right, so I'm gonna go to next right here. Most common ways of transferring the video on site is through text messages and AirDrop, and for Android users we have the QR code right here as well. These are the 3 that I use in every single event, and I'm just going to come up with a password right here, all 2s. I'm going to hit next. Text messaging, this right here, I'm just going to hit next. All this looks a little overwhelming. Now, sharing station and photo booth, I really want to get to the fun part, guys, so we're going to just skip this part right here and we're going to go into the video effects right away. But since we're here and you can fast forward if you want, let's spend a little time right here actually. So when it comes to the sharing station, if you're gonna have an iPad sharing station, it shows you guys that you can either have an animated track screen, or you can have an upload a track screen that's a still. Now what that means is that when people walk up to your iPad, okay, they're either gonna see like an attraction taking place, or they're gonna see a still in the background in your photos here in the front. Now, when you guys are on Canva, you guys wanna go where it says view recommended sizes. So for example, if I go right here and I'm gonna have my iPad on my tripod and I'm gonna have it on landscape mode and my iPad is 9.7 inches, then when I go over to Canva, I wanna make sure these are the dimensions I'm putting in there, 2048 by 1536. All right, so how does that look like? Well, let's go over to Canva really quick. I didn't expect to go into Canva during this tutorial, but I feel like if you're doing this for the very first time, I feel like this is really going to help you out. So let's just continue to rock with it. Now, when you are on Canva, guys, if you go to resize right here, this is where you're going to type in those dimensions. Now, those dimensions were 2048 by 1536. So that's 2048 by 1536, and I'm gonna go to resize right here, and so now you have this size right here. All right, and that's how you would change the dimensions on Canva, okay? Or if you're gonna put it in portrait, it'll be the opposite. Cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the next thing here. By the way, guys, I just want to remind you that all of my videos are always going to make you think or bring about basically a question. And if you guys ever have any advice or have any questions, I encourage you to post your question or your piece of advice in the comment box below so that other people can benefit from your wisdom and your advice, or other people can benefit from the question that you are asking. So this is the fun part, the video template chooser. Sweet, let's go ahead and do it. So we're gonna go to library right here. And what's super dope about Snappic is, of course, you get a ton of possible overlays you can work with. We can even use some from like the regular photo booth in the 360 booth production. But what we're going to do is right over here, I'm going to go to 360 booth, and we're going to go ahead and select, and we're starting this one brand new. Now this is one of the newest ones right here, fire reveal. That one right there is sick. It's pretty dope. That's cool. We definitely want to include that one. But here, let's do fast and slow reverse. I want to show you guys something. So if I go to fast, slow, reverse, right here, guys, all of my videos so far to this point, I've been focused a lot on portrait, just because we know that when it comes to Reels, Shorts, and Instagram posts, these dimensions work the best. It's portrait mode. So I like sticking to portrait mode. Now you guys can be in a situation where you guys want both to be landscape and portrait, because if you guys are like in a really nice setting and you guys want to capture a lot of the background, then landscape would be a template that you guys might want to consider, just especially if you guys want to capture a lot of the background. So experiment, and like I said, always find your sweet spot, and it's going to be changing from case to case, event venue to venue, right? So if you guys go right here, it says output frame rate. Right here is normal, which means it's going to range anywhere from 20 to 30 frames per second. And if you guys go to smooth, it's going to range anywhere from 40 to 60 frames per second. And actually, this is brand new. This is something that Snappic, at the making of this video during this time here in 2023 of April, Snappic changed this. Before, it used to be either 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second. And then back then, and then after that, it said smooth or normal. Now they added smooth, plus it's showing you it's going to range anywhere from 40 to 60 frames per second. Now, if you guys really want a high quality video, really crisp, smooth looking video, then I would definitely say go with the frame rate of 40 to 60 frames per second. And what's going to happen is that video file is going to be a little larger, but that's okay because Snappic doesn't save the video on your phone's memory. Some other applications save the videos to your actual phone, and that starts eating up your internal memory. So that's one thing to know about Snappic. It saves your videos up in the server, up in the cloud. Now this is where your overlay would go. Let me see if I can find an overlay so I can put it right in here for the sake of the video. So it would be a video, and actually I threw a lot of overlays in the trash, but I think this one right here might be the right size. So I'm just gonna go with this one here and click on it. And this will be my overlay here. Cool, you see the overlay right there. You can always add music to it. However, guys, and this is a question that comes up very often, is how do I select tracks for my client? Don't select tracks for your clients, guys, because if you insert a track in MP3 onto this event and then they upload that video is either gonna get flagged or it's gonna get silenced or copyright because you guys don't own that track. So it's better if you guys just do the best you can with the production when it comes to the video, and then let the client add their preferred song to the video they're uploading on that application they're using, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, okay? Keep that in mind. Next thing we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna jump over to the recording section right here. And for me, the countdown, I like keeping it at 5. This gives me enough time to make sure that everyone's good to go. Everyone's feet are within the actual platform and not sticking out. And when I start doing the 5-second countdown, the arm is starting to build this constant momentum and speed, and it's a smooth video. So I keep mine at 5 seconds. You guys can experiment with 3, whatever time you want. I'm encouraging you guys to constantly just remain creative and continue experimenting, all right? And for my recording duration, I've been leaving it at 10 seconds. It's just perfect for me. Like I tried different timings, but 10 seconds is sweet spot. All right, so that is something I'm just gonna leave like that. Those are my settings. And then I'm gonna go to timeline. Now here's an interesting part here, and I really need you guys to stay with me here, because although it seems like a lot's going on, once you get this down, you guys are really going to know exactly what this means. So let's go ahead and teach you guys how to use Snappic Effects Video Effects Builder right here. Now, this is the first, we're going to call these segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 segments, which means there's 8 pieces that create the entirety of this production. All right, so the first segment, the first piece is going to last 2 seconds long, and you guys can see the number 2 right here. And then the second piece is not even a full second, it's 0.5. Then the third piece is going to be 2 seconds, so on and so forth. Now we can change this, and I'm going to show you what this means and what it translates to. Now if I go to the first segment right here and I go to the bottom, it says that the playback range is going to be from 0 to 0.5. However, when it comes to the speed multiplier, it's going to really slow it down to a quarter right here. This is the multiplier speed. So that's why if it only records for half a second, but it gets that half a second, it gets slowed down to a quarter slow-mo, that's how you're able to get 2 seconds. So what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that when the arm is spinning and the phone records, it's going to record for 0.5 seconds for this first segment, but this segment is going to be slowed down to a quarter. All right. Now I'm going to go on to the next segment and give you guys another example. So you guys, okay, so the arm is still spinning. We already went through the first 0.5 seconds. And now the camera is going to start recording the second segment. And the second segment, as you guys can see, it started off where segment 1 left off. So that means we're at 0.5 because that's where segment 1 left off, 0.5 to 1.5, which gives us a full second. But as you guys can see right here in the speed multiplier, it's sped up. And because it's sped up, it's only 0.5. So what if for this second of playback range, we wanted to slow it down? Well, we would just take this here and move it. This is going to be normal speed, half the speed, and a quarter. All right. And so say I move it to half the speed. You guys are going to notice that this jumped up to 2 seconds. And this over here, it says max of 30 seconds timeline. That's because we increased this one right here. Now it says record in volume. If some of you guys notice what I ended up doing on some of the videos is for the very first segment, I'll record the volume so it can go from all the atmosphere of noise going on. So you hear everything in the beginning, and then it gets silence after the second segment, and it jumps into the effects. I just do it, like I said, because I'm continuously always experimenting, and I thought it looked pretty cool how you can hear in the video, the first 2 seconds, you can hear everyone screaming and laughing and the music in the background, and then it just silences, and then like the slow-mo kicks in. I just thought that was a cool transition. All right, so right here, it's over 30 seconds. So how do we change that? Well, if we come over to the third segment right here, and it's 2 seconds, and I'm pretty sure that by now you probably understand this, is I'm going to go down, right? And if it's 2 seconds, and I'm going a second over, well, what can I do to change that? Really simple. I can go to the speed multiplier and speed it up to change this to 1 second. So I'll just look for it. All right. Okay, there it is. Boom. So now this message went away, and this is going to be recording for a total of from 1.5 to 2 seconds. Now, there's another thing that I want to share with you guys. That way you get really familiar as we move forward. All right. So we're just going to cover what we just covered. We're just going to summarize it really quick. All right. So this is first segment, second and third segment. Now, first segment is going to range from 0 to 0.5, which means that the second segment has to start off where this one left off, which is 0.5. So now I'm going here, and it's 0.5 to 1.5. All right. So I'm going to test you guys. So if this one right here, second segment, is ending at 1.5, then where is segment number 3, where is that going to get started? Well, if you guys said 1.5, you're absolutely right. So 1.5 right here to 2 seconds right here, which means that segment number 4 is going to start off at 2 seconds, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's one thing that I wanted you guys to pick up. Now, and then we continue moving forward. All right. Now that we got the timing and we're learning about each little segment and also how to use the speed multiplier, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into the effects. Now, for segment number 1 right here, as you guys can see that there's no effects. All right. There's no effects, which gives us the opportunity to jump either to the library saved effects or to build a custom effect. Now, we're going to keep this very simple for segment number 1, and we're going to go to the existing library effects. All right, so for the library effects, this is what we have to work with. We have ink blades, we have animations, we have, different still, spinning, all that stuff. Now, we can go to, for example, like a beauty plus, which is going to give you like a beauty filter. We can add that. We can add the ink that makes them look kind of like a comic. We can do that too. In fact, we'll go ahead and add it right there. I'm going to go ahead and select it. So segment number 1 is going to have this effect, and this effect is going to be on for those 2 seconds. Now, if I go over to segment number 2, and I want to build a custom effect, this is how you would build a custom effect. You hit custom effects right there, and then you're going to go to add effect right here. And now you get these crazy amounts of effects. This is why I love Snappic. By the way, you guys are still watching this video, just know that if you never used Snappic before, I have a code in the description box below that's going to give you 10% off. But the cool part about Snappic is you'll have a 7-day free trial, all right? So just know that. So now that I'm here, there's just so many things I can do, and there's so many things I can share with you guys. In fact, I think this video can easily be an hour long if I show you everything that I learned, but I'm going to show you guys the fundamentals so that you guys can come right back in here and just start experimenting from the comfort of your own home. All right, let's go to overlay library right here. Okay. So what this is now is that Snappic has an effects builder and they have an overlay library. So there's a bokeh effect right there that's going to blur out some of the background and also give you these really cool effects. And then we have gold, but right here we have them categorized. One of the ones that I use the most that doesn't look cheesy is if I go over to flash effects, I like using the shutter. Because the shutter, it actually looks like paparazzi's taking snap photos of you, and it honestly, it looks clean. I use it almost in every event. So I'm gonna go ahead and select flash shutter, and then I'm not gonna worry about the playback range because this is gonna only affect that second segment we're working on. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. All right, cool. So for number 1, we had that ink effect, and for segment number 2, now we have that shutter effect. All right, so let's go and use the preview timeline. This is in beta mode, and this is really cool. See, and this is why Snappic is not the cheapest, because there's just so many tools, and I know this costs the company money because these tools, you know, take up more, how can I say, tools, and it really dives deep into what you can do as a creator. So I'm going to go ahead and hit preview timeline, and this is going to give us a view of how our video is currently looking as if we were already at the event. So we're going to do the 360 recording right there, and it's processing this for us right now, and then we're going to see the effects, and I'm going to walk you through the effects as I see the effects show up. And if you guys can please help me out right now, we wait with a thumbs up. If you guys can just hit that thumbs up button, it doesn't cost you anything, just but you'll be helping me out, of course. And this is what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to help you guys out as much as possible. So if you guys can please hit the like button, that'd be awesome. This is an exciting time if you're really getting started with your photo booth business. Right now, I'm making this video. It is 2023 in April, so it's busy season for us photo booth operators. It's like I'm getting new uniforms. I'm going to show you a lot of the new shirts that I got. Super dope. We're going to go over logos. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, man. Really, because I'm here to just pour out my heart and continuously move forward in a positive direction in hopes that I can share more information with you guys. All right, so this is how the video is going to look. So this is the effect that we selected for the first segment, right? And then I'm gonna hit play in a few seconds. You can see a little overlay, see little eggs right over here. I'm gonna hit play. You're gonna see the second segment. The second segment was that shutter, okay? So let's go ahead and hit play. This is for 2 seconds. And then we're waiting for the shutter that we added, which I don't see here. There should have been a shutter. We're gonna hit play again and see why it didn't record the shutter of the camera. Let's see. Yeah, I should have played in the very beginning. See? Yeah, so there was no shutter. So we want to know, why did the shutter not kick in? So I'm going to close this. This is the second segment. As you guys can see, we're expecting the shutter to kick in from 0.5 to 1.5. Okay, so that's it's slowed down, so that's going to equal 2 seconds. And my overlay is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And I'm going to go ahead and select the shutter. Flash effects, shutter. I'm going to save it. I thought I saved it. Did I save it correctly? Save. See? Yeah, save. All right, I'm going to give this another opportunity here. Maybe this will process faster this time. Yeah, it's processing much faster. See, sometimes when I come across something that it doesn't make any sense and I start troubleshooting and it's a tutorial video, I think it's the best because it's situations like this that allow us to troubleshoot versus thinking that everything is always going to run smoothly. And yeah, that's why I make these videos, guys, because I know how it is to be in a situation where you feel helpless. And this is another beautiful thing, is that Snappic is available 24/7 if you guys ever need assistance. I've been in situations where I needed to do something specifically I'd never done on Snappic before, and if you guys go to this lower right here, you can send them a message and they'll reply within 2 minutes. So that's really helpful. All right, let's see if it recorded it this time. See if the shutter kicks in. So that's accurate, but I don't see. I'm still not seeing the shutter on here. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, and that is not cool because we want that flash shutter now. What if I put 0.5 here? Let's see. You know what? Let me do this. I'm gonna put a flame effect to see if it records a flame effect. Now this is beta, so it means that it's not gonna work 100%. It's still in the testing phases, so that might be it. The cool thing is you can always be testing on your phone, which I'm gonna be doing with you guys. I think it'll be a good idea for me to actually save the video and then play it on my phone and then show you guys on the computer screen. And I know this video is gonna be lengthy, but I think a lot of you guys that are really trying to learn this stuff can really appreciate how much time I'm taking to show you guys some of these tools and some of my workflow as well. All right, so cheers to that. All right, the moment that we've been waiting for. Let's see if it recorded the flames into this. There it goes. Okay, so I see the flames in the bottom there. So yeah, it's working, but for some reason the shutter didn't pop up right here. But you don't want to take the time preview line too serious. You just want to make sure that it actually shows on your handset. Okay, so that's how you guys would do that. Remember, just go to your build custom effects here. I'm gonna remove it, and then I'm gonna go to build a custom effect. Then you go to add effect. Then you're gonna come over to overlay library like this, and then select whatever effect you guys want. Now, since I have you guys here, we can go ahead and see some of the effects that I find to be the coolest. And one of them is going to be, like I said, the shutter from earlier, even the money, because if you guys think about it, you guys can do the money just like this. What's really cool is that you don't have to use the money guns anymore. You know, you don't have to pick up the money. So there's the flash, and there's fog as well. There's a good amount, and like I said, they're categorized right here over here on the top. So we're gonna leave this, and we're gonna go with the lens. We're gonna go with the we'll go with this fire flame one right there, and we'll hit save. All right, and then we'll move on to the third one. So I'm going to show you guys another overlay, and this specific overlay, a lot of you guys asked me, David, how do you get the lines, the outlines? And quite honestly, man, it took me a while to figure out, but I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. But we're going to choose a different segment. So we went over 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I'm going to look for one that's over 2 seconds long. In fact, let's do this. Let's go through each segment, okay? And I'm going to show you guys the reverse playback on how I set it up. And I'm going to give you guys everything that I know so that you guys can really get familiar with this. Sometimes I think like I'm sharing too much information, and I feel like, should I be sharing all this information? And part of me is like, well, what if everyone's videos start looking like your videos? And then I think to myself, well, if that's the case, then that means that I'm going to have to do something to recreate myself or somehow evolve or reach a level of creativity where I can still advance after that. So I guess what I mean is I'm trying to always compete against myself. And if I feel like the industry is doing things exactly like I'm doing them, then it's also time for me to see where else can I innovate and then share that with you so that we can evolve as an industry, if you think about it. So I try to stay positive as much as I can, guys. Sometimes I get beat down. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Sometimes I get beat down because Life could be very tough, but it's really how you frame things. So 6, 7, 8. And then as you guys can see here on number 8, there's a reverse playback. David, what does a reverse playback mean? And how do I set it up? So here's the way that I set it up. And this is the way that maybe you can do it if you want to just do it just like me, or you can add your little spin on it. All right, literally. So this is what this means. So we're at the very end now, and it says this segment right here is 20 seconds long. And if I come down here, all right, this segment is going to do a reverse playback of 0 to 5 seconds. That means that this last section is going to circle back, re-loop, and play back all the segments from 0 to 5 seconds. So how does that look like? Well, if we come here, that means it's going to play back 1, and remember, from 0 to 5 seconds. So it's going to play 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to play all 7 segments previous to it at this speed right here. It's going to do it at a slow-mo speed, which is going to make this last part right here 20 seconds long. Now you can do that if you want, but here's what I like doing, and I'm smiling because I've experimented so much. So it's like me sharing like everything that I took so much time to gain. It's cool, I guess. It's cool, man. All right. So say for example, the arm is spinning, and then you'll notice that like out of the 4 people that were on there, because you have a faster speed, sometimes that person doesn't get any screen time. It just goes right past them because it was fast. And then there'll be like 2 or 3 people who really get that screen, that time to shine, that slow-mo, you know, and they're feeling themselves. But the other person's all like, what about me? It doesn't even look like I went in the video. My man, what's going on here, huh? And so be like, don't worry, homie, I got you. So what we can do is we can find one of these segments that, oh, perfect, right here, like segment number 4. Segment number 4, right here, the playback is from 2 to 3 seconds. From segment number 4, it's accelerated to the speed multiplier to be twice as fast. So it's going to be a really fast portion right here. So what you can do is this. All right, we can go, and I just wanted to make sure I remember this. Segment number 4, playback is from 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, so what I can do is I can go to the number 8, and I can say that I want it to play back here from, was it, see, I forget stuff. From, what is it, 2 to 3? Yeah, so from 2 to 3, okay. So I'll go back to 8, and I say, I want you to play this back from 2 to 3. So I'm gonna go to 2 right there. That's my playback from 2 to 3. Like that. And instead of it being fast, it's gonna slow it down. So for that person that was recorded during segment number 4 or section number 4, where the camera just blew right past them, and even fast forwarded at, multiply times 2, when they thought, oh man, I didn't even come out. I came out for like a split second. Well, that's cool, because don't worry. If we go to the 8, what we did is we took that same section of where it was fast forward and we slowed it down, but it's going to be reversed. It's going to come back towards the end of the video. So just when you thought you weren't famous, now you're famous. So I know you guys are probably thinking like, David, you are so weird. Yes, I am. Yes, I am indeed. And as you guys can see, the duration time went from 30 seconds to 14 seconds, which means that this video is only going to be 14 seconds long. And I personally think that that's not enough time. I feel like if you can keep your videos between 20 to 24 seconds, that's a solid video right there. Now, one thing to talk about is, and I don't know if you guys can even see me here in the video. Yeah, you guys can see me. Let me move this a little bit bigger here. One thing I want to talk about is when you guys are at an event, right? And you guys are and you guys went with the setting where it's anywhere from 40 to 60 frames per second and your video is 30 seconds long and it has a bunch of effects, just know that that video is going to take longer to render, because first of all, it's a 30-second video, plus it's 40 to 60 frames per second, plus you added a bunch of effects to it. So it's going to take longer time to render. So if you're in a situation where you guys have a long line and it's a party of 500 people, you guys want to make sure, one, that you guys have decent data connection and cellular speeds at that spot. Two, you want to make sure that you're using a phone with a speedy processor. Now, if you guys are using anything as such, from anywhere from a 12 Pro Max to an iPhone 14 Pro Max, then it's decent. You guys are going to get good speeds. However, one thing you guys might want to consider is either using 20 to 30 frames per second videos and slowing and minimizing the duration of the video so that a video can render much faster and you can keep that line going, keep that line flowing, because there's people waiting in line. And so if each video is taking close to a minute to download, that's a lot of downtime. But even if you have an iPad sharing station, it still needs to render and download for you to start recording again for the next people that are going to jump on your 360 platform. So that's one thing that I want you guys to really think about when you guys are getting set up for an event, is keep in mind, this is what I mean, is the traffic flow. How you want to make sure you have a good flow to the people waiting, to the people getting their props, from the people coming off the booth, from the people going, all that stuff, guys. It just is something fun that you guys will get more familiar with as you guys get more experience and are exposed to more events. Okay, so it's 14 seconds long right now. Now, if I can change this, I can actually change it by doing this. I can go to, for example, segment number. Let's see. Let's find a segment that's really sped up. So if I go to segment number 4, I can slow it down to half the speed. And now, as you guys can see, it jumped up a second. I can slow it down even more to a quarter. And now we're at 17. And then segment number 5, that's already slowed down. Segment number 6 is sped up, but I can actually change it to a normal speed. And I've done that in the past. I'll do it like a normal speed. So this 1 second, or just the arm at the rate that the arm is spinning, that's the rate it's going to record at. It's going to record at normal speed. Okay, so now we're at 18 seconds. So 18 seconds is not too bad, but if I go and make it a quarter right here, we're at 21 seconds. I think 21 seconds is nice. Now, I don't want to lose you guys or get you bored. And I know that when it comes to these tutorial videos, it's so hard to just sit down and soak it up. So I'm going to try to just speed up now, and I'm going to go to section number 7. And I'm going to show you guys how to get that outline, to get your characters or your people on the booth to have that outline effect that I think looks really amazing. So the way you would do that is you're going to go to build a custom effect right here. Okay, you're going to do you're going to use AI segmentation right here. All right, that's why you got to pay a premium price for Snappic, because they have the AI segmentation. So when you're here, guys, the next thing you want to do is you want to come right over here where it says after masking. Okay, so go to after masking and go to build a custom effect right here. Go add effect, and this time you're going to select alpha stroke. Now you can change the color of the outline. I think white looks the best, but if you guys have a certain theme or the client is really strong on a specific color of the theme, you guys can complement it by changing that. So say, for example, it's like a nice purple one right there. I can go ahead and move this to like a purple and then save. And now my outline is going to be purple, and I'm going to hit save right over here. All right, so that is that. I'm going to hit save right over here. Okay, so that has been added to it. So at this point, guys, I think I covered the basics with you. Of course, there's always going to be a ton of other things, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and just recap really quick. Okay, so I'm going to hit save for now. We're going to go into this particular template we just customized. Guys, we can change the name of it, just because when it pops up on your phone, you guys are going to have different templates. This one we'll call it YouTube 1. All right, so we'll save that. Portrait mode, we went over frame rates. We're going to record this one at 40 to 60 frames per second. I'm going to go ahead and go over recordings. Remember, guys, when we talked about the countdown, I have it at 5 seconds, the recording duration 10 seconds. So the device, as it's spinning, it's going to record for a full 10 seconds. And we went over the timeline. We referred to these as segments or sections. I showed you guys how to do the playback range with the speed multiplier, how that dictates how long the video is going to be causing that effect. So for example, the ink effect is going to be going on for 2 seconds, and then the flames effects that we selected for number 2 is going to be going on for 2 seconds. And then let's go see, we added another effect. We did the outline together. The AI segmentation is going to be going on for 2 seconds of the video. So what that means is out of the 21-second playback, 2 of those seconds are going to be showing that AI segmentation we did together. Okay, so I'm going to hit save right here. And then we're going to hit next. And then it's going to create the event for us as soon as we hit create. So, okay, cool. The event is already created for us. Now I'm going to show you guys how this looks on the phone. We're going to go ahead and just record one quick video with those effects that we added. And while we do that, if you guys can take a second to post your questions right now that you may have in the comment box below as I'm doing all this stuff here on the sideline. And then also, if you guys haven't done so, if you can please help me by hitting the like button, that will be like the probably the most support I can get from you guys is if you guys hit the thumbs up button. So, okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my phone here. I'm going to do a screen recording. How do I do a screen recording? Let's see here. I'm going to do a screen recording on my phone, and while I have you guys here on my platform, I'm going to go ahead and extend this a little larger here. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and dive into Snappic. I'm going to go ahead and open Snappic. All right, so we have a live event called YouTube Fam. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And now that I am over in the dashboard, I want to show you guys a few things. I'm going to use my rear camera. Right here it says back camera, this very top one. The reason I'm using this top one is because I have a standard iPhone 13. So if I go to back ultra wide, it's going to look grainy and noisy. I don't want that. I want my videos to be really high quality. All right, so I'm going to stick with the back camera. And then from there, I'm going to go to start booth here on the lower right. It's going to take me to a new screen where I'm going to have more control of my production and my recording. And you guys are going to see how that looks like just in a few seconds right here. It's loading up the event resources. It's been an incredible journey, guys. Honestly, man, I can't believe me sharing my journey back in 2022 has led to so much, so many experiences that I'm going to take with me, because life is all about experiences, not so much the materialistic things that you can't take with you, but those experiences, right? And those people that you touch and you were able to assist. All right, so here, I'll hit that. Oh, really quick, guys. So here, let me go ahead and shrink this. As you guys can see right here, it says video templates. Another really cool thing about Snappic is that you guys can select different templates. So this is the one we customized together. When I go to events, I usually have 2 to 3 different templates because I like experimenting while I'm at the event, because the background is going to come into play, the lighting is going to come into play. And so I always arm myself with 2 to 3 templates for that event, and I can just select whichever one I want. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into my phone right here. So this is the next menu you're going to come across. Now you can change your ISO, but at the time, guys, I do recommend that you leave it on automatic, the shutter speed, everything in automatic. One of the things I want you guys to check out is the stabilizer. All right, so the stabilizer, it's on cinematic, but if you go to cinematic extended, you guys are gonna get really dope videos. So try this out, try them all. Try the standard, the cinematic, and the cinematic extended. I like cinematic and cinematic extended, and it also helps your video remain really, really stable. So go ahead and select that. And then for the 30 frames per second, we're going to change that right now. I'm going to show you how. This is something that I need to talk to Snappic about, and you see what I mean. So if I go to start booth, right, I can select, I selected my, where are we at? there's only one template. So when I go here, I can get started right away. So, right? So that's me. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip my phone over. And I'm going to record for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it should start rendering. A few more seconds left. Okay, it's rendering right now. And you guys get to see the rendering speed too on my iPhone 13, how long it's taking. It's actually going by really fast. And remember guys, we selected anywhere from 40 to 60 frames per second, which is gonna be a smooth video. But you guys, the best thing you can do for your videos always is make sure you guys have proper lighting. The better the lighting, the better your video is going to come out. So it's still rendering the video, and it's funny because it kind of slowed down a little bit in the AI segmentation area, but now we're about to see the playback. So there's that comic and there's our overlay. Those are the flames. And now we're waiting for the outline to come up pretty soon here. Where's that outline? The outline's supposed to be going on for 2 seconds. There it is. The outline kicked in. Cool. So now I can, text, do the QR code or airdrop. But here, one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to retake, but then I'm going to hit the X on the top left. I'm going to go to exit, and then I'm going to put in the code we put in earlier when we were creating. I'm going to go refresh on the top right. Now I'm going to go to start photo booth again. Okay. What did I do? Back camera, start booth. Cool. Go to stabilizer, and now it recorded that it's going to be recording at 60 frames per second. So that's what I wanted to show you guys, that it's actually now recording that it's going to be exported at 60 frames per second. So yeah, let me go ahead and stop recording here on my device. So guys, this is Snappic, and this is like kind of like the fundamentals of Snappic. So if you guys really want to continue growing your production and creativity, this is the place to do it. This is the platform to do it. And this is why I'm still spinning with Snappic, just because they're continuously evolving. Customer service is the best. The production comes out really good, especially if you guys are going to complement their software and their tools with a good recording device. I can't wait till the iPhone 15 comes out. I bought the iPhone 14. I sent it back. Now my sister has an iPhone 14 Pro. And I did test videos with the iPhone 14 Pro. Those videos look super clean. So get the Pro. If you guys are photo booth businesses, so I would recommend always going with the Pro, just because the camera is always going to be better on the Pros. However, if you don't have a Pro, that's okay, because point is go out there, get that experience, get that exposure, start getting some profit in, and then invest into your business by upgrading your phone. In the future, we'll be having DSLR cameras to record, but right now it's really convenient using an iPhone, because you can simply text message the video, do the QR code, or do the airdrop. And with the DSLR camera, you don't have those capabilities. And the GoPro 2 is coming soon, so that's going to be really dope as well. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure, and this is Snappic for you guys. Now, you guys are going to have questions. Please go ahead and put them in the comment box below. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay blessed and good luck on your next event. Find that spiritual balance, guys. I know business is important, but so is your health and your spirit. All right, peace.